What's up, everyone? Ben Razza here for Odd Chopper, and let's talk a little Survivor. NFL Week 2 picks. Who do we take? Who do we fade? Who could be that landmine, the Cincinnati Bengals of last week? We're going to review what happened last week, and then we're going to get into who I'm going with for Survivor and a couple different options. I want to welcome you to the channel, though. All things betting, picks, tools, analysis. Take a look around. Take a couple seconds. If you like this type of content, welcome. Want to welcome you in. Hit the like button. Subscribe. Make sure you stay. Let's get into it. So let's look backwards before we look forwards. I'll bring up the odds screen as I talk about this. Cincinnati obviously knocked out a ton of people in pools. There's no doubt about that. It was clearly the safest pick. Almost upwards of half of people went there. We were fortunate that we went to the Seahawks. We got that through, and we're in a better place for it. Doesn't always work like that, but we talked about there's a lot of groupthink in these obviously high target favorites, and that's just the name of the game with Survivor. Most of the time they win. That's why they're big favorites. Sometimes weird stuff happens. On that note, who's the obvious choice this week? It's Baltimore. Let's just get right to it. The Baltimore Ravens are the obvious choice for Survivor if you are not worried about opportunity cost and future plans. If you're saying who's the most likely team to win, it's them. They're pushing minus 500 on the money line. They're at home against the Raiders. They're coming off a long week because they played the Chiefs to open the season in Arrowhead. They get to prep Lamar, Andrews, Blakely, Henry, Justice. They got weapons all over the place. The defense will be ready, and they're taking on the Raiders, who just lost 22-10 to the Chargers. Not great. What's there to say? This is pushing double digits in terms of a spread. Obviously, for Survivor, you just have to win the game. If you are not worried about anything besides getting to week 3, Baltimore is where you want to go. They have the highest chance to win, and there's really no doubt about that. The reason, if you're in a larger pool, that I wouldn't go to them is because on their schedule, home to Washington, home to Denver, they play the Giants. These are spots in the future. Having Baltimore is going to come in handy. Really, really useful team to save if you can. And it's only week 2. There are no buys. We're only down one team in Seattle. We've got plenty of options. For those reasons, I will not use Baltimore this week, but it is the prudent move. So we got Baltimore out of the way. We got to dive into 2 more. We'll give you kind of a riskier pick and then who I'll ultimately be going with as well. I do want to mention, though, I know we just talked about everything we've got going on at Odd Chopper. You see it right here, Portfolio EV and then Tails. If you have not been on Tails, check it out right here. You go here, Discover Insiders. You're going to see all these content people, including this guy. I am there. I have my Discord hooked up. I am dropping picks in all these sports. We are talking through strategies like Survivor. It's a great community. We're asking questions. We're working together. We're finding edges. We have so many sharp members. It's not just me dropping picks. Obviously, I am doing that, and it's all there to access both on the app and in the Discord. But it's a really sharp community of bettors who are really, really helping us all make a little extra money. So if you're interested in that, if you want to find a community for football, want to find a fun sweat, just come on in, give it a shot. 50% off a week or a month. You're talking less than $1 a day. It's like 50 cents a day with that promo code. Really worth it to see if it can change and boost your ROI and your enjoyment. That's what it's all about at the end of the day. Come on in. Link is below. Let's get back to Survivor. We got 2 more teams we got to tackle. Enough messing around over here. So, talked about the Ravens. If you want to go more aggressive, if you want to be a little risky, when you look at the board, there are some spots. I think a lot of people are going to pick on some of these teams. I'm going to talk about Indianapolis, and I want to be clear. I want to make this explicitly clear. This is very aggressive. They are favorites on the road in Green Bay, but the big news with Green Bay, and I'm filming this very early in the week, but barring some miraculous thing, I don't know if it's official yet. Jordan Love is not playing. That's just not going to happen. I really don't see that happening. If he's playing and you're watching this video, don't listen to this part. Fast forward. Obviously, don't pick the Colts. The line will crater, and we will see that. I don't expect that to happen. I'm operating under that assumption. So with that in mind, what are the Packers going to do? Well, it looks like Malik Willis is going to be the starter. And I, to be honest, don't have a lot of confidence in him. You look at this Colts team. I don't really love backing a team on the road, but they're a decent favorite. I think it could balloon a little bit. They played a very difficult, close competitive game against Houston, lost by a couple points. I still like this team. Obviously, Anthony Richardson's making 60-yard bombs. Just an insane throw. He's got all the talent. Jonathan Taylor. Pittman, they've got a good offense, no doubt about it. And even though they're not in the dome, I think they can go in. Green Bay, I'm not sure what they do here. I think it's going to be pretty bad until Jordan Love comes back. For that reason, I think they're actually a team that you can short in the short term, and it starts this week. If Indy goes out and crushes them, so many people are going to start fading Green Bay. I think it could be a sneaky way to be different, and you set up the opportunity to have all these other massive favorites. It's unlikely, but if some of them go down, you're going to see another half of the fields just completely eroded in your survivor pool. So for that reason, if you want to be a little risky, look to the Colts this week. There's someone I may end up betting, particularly once we get confirmation with the quarterback situation. If the line doesn't smoke or steam or anything like that to a number, you don't have to worry about that for survivor, though. This is about winning the game. And I do think ultimately the Colts will be able to do just that. Green Bay, we saw, by the way, they were in Brazil with the Eagles, all that. But it all ended up, one thing came out of that game, and it was Jordan Love got hurt. So we've talked about Baltimore. We've talked about Indianapolis. Now it's time for my survivor pick. And I did just mention, by the way, I might bet Indy. If you are betting things, you're in Bet365 state, you see that big banner? Look at this one. 5 into 200 in bonus bets. The link is below. It's very simple. This is a 10-second thing. If you're in a state with Bet365, if you use the link below, if you bet $5, you deposit 10, you bet 5, win or lose, you get 200 in bonus bets. That's it. You got to be 21 plus, 18 in Kentucky. If you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. But if you are looking to build the bankroll, that is a way to do it. Again, just click that link, see if they're in your state, take advantage. I struggled with who I was going to go with, not because I don't feel confident. There were just a couple different options. I settled on the Houston Texans for my survivor pick. We're going with Houston. I like this team. Obviously, a lot of talent. Saw them in week 1. What a game. One of the better games. Them and the Colts. I just talked about it briefly with Indianapolis, so I won't recap it all, but safe to say CJ Stroud picked up where he left off. He made some unbelievable throws late. Nico Collins, a great catch. Diggs looked good. Mixon looked really good. The defense is there. Now they're at home, and they take on Chicago. The line, minus 300, that is pretty damn healthy. You know, if you look at implied odds, obviously, a very good win expectancy based off that, no doubt about it. And the Bears are also 1-0, but you couldn't be less bullish, in my opinion, on a 1-0 team than Chicago. How did they win? Well, they were at home against Tennessee. They were down 17-0. They did not score an offensive touchdown, and they won the game. That doesn't seem possible. What I'm saying, if you didn't know, you'd be like, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about, because you just said the team was down 17 points. They didn't score an offensive touchdown, and they won the game. It's true. Levis gave the game away, pick 6. There were all sorts of bizarre plays, defensive touchdowns, all this stuff. Obviously, there's some field goals involved. Caleb Williams, I'm not saying he's a bust or anything like that. He did not look good in his first start. His yards per attempt was amongst the lowest in the league. He did absolutely nothing. Sure, they'll be better at times. Going into Houston is not one of those times. I think that the Bears will struggle in this spot. I really do respect this Texans team. They are on the move. And the thing that was fascinating to me, take a look at the Texans' schedule. I expected, I don't know why, all these cupcake matchups, there was like nothing there. I honestly believe this is the best spot to use Houston of the entire year, and that is what solidified it for me. When you look at them versus Baltimore, I already mentioned Baltimore's got multiple weeks where we can use them in the future. The Texans have some weeks. Obviously, they have some home games here and there against some teams. There were not a lot of jump-in spots for Houston. To me, home against Chicago in week 2, that's a beautiful setup and one I wanted to take advantage of. So not only do we take a team that I'm very confident in winning, we do not burn any team or any situation that I'm really going to regret in the future. That is the sweet spot for Survivor. And for that reason, the Houston Texans are my choice for week 2. There you have it. If you have any questions on Survivor, betting, how to get in Discord, anything with Tails by OddsShopper, again, those links are below. Please just message me on Twitter. I'm absolutely happy to help at JazzRazBets. That's what I'm here for, and that's what we're here for at OddsShopper. The channel is growing so quickly because of all the support. So I just want to say I really appreciate everyone tuning in. It's a fun time of the year. There's so much good content out there to talk with football from college to the NFL, and it's super exciting that we're able to do it, and hopefully you're enjoying it. But on that note, for me and the Houston Texans, good luck. Let's survive in advance. That'll be the theme of this video until the wheels fall off. But on that note, uh, let's get it done, and I'll see you for week 3.